The queen of the great star domain stood upon her silver dais as the shimmering banners of her empire rippled across her vast throne chamber. For many cycles she had heard tales of the strange newcomers from the blue world at the edge of the mapped routes. The early reports described them as small, soft, and under-equipped, yet somehow they defeated threats that seasoned fleets struggled with. Her strategists claimed that their adaptability bordered on unnatural. Her council declared them reckless. Her scholars called them unpredictable. The queen herself dismissed most of the stories as embellishment. She believed the other factions exaggerated to save face when they failed in battles. She believed the idea of a warrior species hidden behind harmless appearances was nothing more than a romantic tale. Yet her empire was forced to negotiate with this rising power. That alone was irritating for her. Her people respected her strength. She had led victorious campaigns through 5 contested regions. She survived rival purges and ambushes. She defeated armor-clad giants from the Copper Moons. She believed she understood what a warrior was. She believed she knew the form courage took. Humans, she thought, could not possibly match the seasoned fighters of her realm. The reports were illusions created by luck and poor intelligence. Then came the day she would learn the truth. A diplomatic mission had been arranged between her empire and the human coalition. The meeting point was a neutral orbital outpost suspended above a calm, pale world. She arrived with only a modest guard, for she wanted to appear confident and composed. The humans sent a small group as well. Among them was a soldier assigned as part of their security escort. His name was Daniel, chosen for its simplicity and clarity. He was not the tallest of the group and did not appear as one who carried the weight of legend. He looked focused yet calm. His uniform carried faint scratches from past duty. He moved with a deliberate quietness that caught the attention of several of her attendants. The queen watched him with mild disinterest at first. She believed her expectations would be confirmed. She expected clumsiness or nervous fumbling. She expected the soft nature she believed humans possessed. Yet Daniel moved with a precision that contradicted every assumption she held. He scanned the room with a posture she recognized from elite guards within her own ranks. He took in the layout of exits, vantage points, and transport lines with controlled steadiness. Nothing about him appeared overwhelmed. Still, she dismissed her own observations. One human behaving well meant nothing. She thought he must have been trained more aggressively than most. The rest would reveal their weakness soon. That was her internal reassurance. The negotiations began calmly. Her lead diplomat discussed trade routes and cooperation against pirate factions. The human envoy spoke with polite but firm tones. She found their composure unusual. They asked clear questions and granted clear answers. There was no hesitation. It was as if they had calculated every possible outcome before the discussion began. That method impressed her more than she expected. Halfway through the meeting, the outpost shuddered. The lights flickered. Alarms echoed through the long hall. A sudden recorded voice warned of an unregistered vessel forcing a docking latch. The queen felt her instincts sharpen. Pirates or rebels might have followed the meeting to exploit vulnerability. Her guards raised their weapons. Human escorts did the same. Daniel stepped forward without waiting for orders. There was no panic in his gaze. A section of the hall door blasted inward, and a hostile group stormed through. They carried crude weapons and moved with erratic aggression. Her own guards formed a protective line in front of her. Yet before they could brace fully, Daniel sprinted toward the breach. She was caught off guard by the speed of his response. He closed distance faster than many warriors she had trained with. His movements held no fear. Her guards tried to block him. He slipped past them before they understood his intention. 5 hostile attackers converged on him. The queen braced for his fall. No matter how impressive he appeared, he was outnumbered. Yet the scene unfolded with stunning clarity. Daniel moved in a fluid rhythm. He used minimal motion to deflect blows. He redirected the weight of an enemy and sent the attacker crashing into two others. He seized a dropped weapon and used it with disciplined strikes that disarmed opponents rather than ending them. His awareness reached every angle. He positioned himself to block the path to both delegations. He had no thought for glory. His only aim was protection. Every step was calculated for that purpose. Her eyes widened. Her breath tightened. She realized she was witnessing a living demonstration of the stories she had ignored. This was the human adaptability her counsel described. This was the courage her scholars noted with unease. She had brushed off their feats as legends, yet one soldier proved them true before her own eyes. More attackers charged through the breach. Daniel held the line. He issued quick warnings to both delegations. His voice stayed steady. He coordinated movements between her guards and the human escorts with natural leadership. Neither side needed to be told twice. Both followed his instructions as if he had commanded them for years. The queen felt a faint jolt of disbelief at how easily he unified two groups who had never trained together. A pair of hostile fighters managed to flank toward the queen. Her guard captain attempted to intercept them. The attackers moved too quickly. Daniel saw the danger before anyone else. He sprinted across the chamber with full force. Her guard captain barely had time to register that Daniel passed him before the human soldier collided with the attacker reaching for the queen. He absorbed the strike meant for her and retaliated with enough force to send the attacker sliding across the polished floor. The second assailant lunged for the queen. Daniel seized the attacker's arm and redirected the momentum downward. The strike hit the floor instead of her. He followed with a swift disarm and neutralization. The queen stared as he positioned himself between her and all possible threats. He had protected her without hesitation, even though she belonged to a species he barely knew. The hostile group began retreating when they realized their ambush failed. Daniel pursued only long enough to ensure no renewed attempt followed. When he returned, he moved with the same quiet steadiness he showed before the attack. His breaths were controlled. His uniform carried fresh tears, yet he stood unharmed. He approached the delegations not with pride, but with composed professionalism. The queen examined him as if seeing a new kind of being. She felt a mixture of shock and respect rising within her. Her own elite battalion would have admired such discipline. She had trained many fighters, yet rarely saw such commitment to defense. He had no personal gain in saving her. He acted from principle alone. She approached him and studied his expression. He bowed his head politely. He did not appear to understand the significance of what he had done. She asked him why he reacted without hesitation. He responded that danger near civilians or diplomatic guests took priority over everything. That was his duty. That was his promise. She realized that she underestimated the human approach to honor. Their humble nature masked their strength. The negotiations resumed once the outpost secured the area. Yet now the queen spoke with renewed clarity. She found herself addressing the human delegation with an honest tone she rarely granted outsiders. She extended new offers. She removed barriers previously defended by her advisors. She respected those who proved themselves through action more than proclamation. Daniel had shifted her view. After the meeting ended, she requested a private discussion with him. He accepted. They spoke near a balcony that overlooked the quiet planet below. She asked him what shaped his resolve. He explained that his people valued perseverance, creativity, and protection. Humans were small in the vastness of space. They survived by helping one another. They learned quickly because they had to. They adapted because the universe did not bend for them. He said that they fought not to dominate, but to endure and safeguard their communities. She found his explanation elegant. She realized that humans had lived with vulnerability for much of their history. Their strength came from confronting that vulnerability rather than hiding from it. That perspective resonated with her more deeply than she expected. She told him she believed his species could change the balance of the star domain. He responded that humans desired cooperation more than conquest. She sensed no lie in his tone. She began to understand why their reputation grew so quickly. They faced conflict with grit and humility. They did not rely on intimidation. They relied on resilience. The queen returned to her empire with a new mindset. She issued strategic reforms that encouraged alliances rather than isolation. Her ministers were astonished by her sudden openness. She explained that she found value in perspectives beyond her own. She spoke of the need to observe rather than assume. She used Daniel as an example not of human might, but of human dedication. She believed that other species could learn from that model. News of the outpost attack spread through several regions. Rumors grew about a human soldier who defended an alien queen without hesitation. Some whispered that he possessed supernatural awareness. Others claimed he stood against dozens despite being outnumbered. She did not deny these rumors. She corrected them only by stating that he acted with duty rather than by